Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 10th episode of Couch to Clutch series. It's the 10th week, and last week we had a few things that went our way. Yes. So let me start with what went well. There you go. This 1990 interval, I was able to see 180 max heart rate by the end of the 10th interval. This is an interval that forces me to run for 90 seconds at anaerobic potential, not full sprint, but kind of trying to hold that pace for 90 seconds and then take recovery for 90 seconds, then take the same thing 10 times. So, and as you can see, the heart rate at the end of this cycle was drifting a little bit. So it started with max heart rate at 170 in the first interval, then it went to 70 again. So I was able to keep up with the pace at really good pace intervals, I would say. Let me just show you how the intervals look like. This is the one, 5.48 kilometers. And these are the laps. So it was a really nice place where I train on weekdays. And this is next to my office in Durgam Cheruvu. This is a part of the town which is, oh, page is unresponsive. This is a part of the town which houses all the IT companies. Probably better to just refresh this page. Oh, come on. Anyway, so if you just see the splits here, it was all below 5 minutes per kilometer for each interval, and it was pretty stable, as you can see here, the paces. And in the last interval, it was like 446 or something like that. And I pushed a little bit, and then it became 180 ppm. BPM for the first time in my life. So all thanks to my coach. And because of something which is called supercompensation. So this is the mechanism of supercompensation. So you train, then obviously you get fatigued because of the training. So your baseline fitness goes down. So the initial baseline, from the initial baseline. And then you recover by taking nutrition, rest, um, activating your parasympathetic system, because this will activate your sympathetic system. And because of that, you get fatigued. And then if you don't take a recovery, then this curve won't happen. This is the most important curve where it just makes a U-turn because of the recovery. If you overtrain, it will keep going down. And if recovery doesn't happen, then you're going to crash and burn. So that's why the training stimulus is important. The recovery is even more important, so that you can turn it around. This is where your body is rebuilding itself. And then you have muscle hypertrophy, where your body is better than the baseline when you did the first training. And then you rinse and repeat, do the same cycle again. So your fitness will never look like it's going in a linear curve upwards. Long-term performance is, of course, upwards over the weeks. So as you can see here, initial baseline, this goes down, then it goes up, and supercompensation up, then another stimulus, another recovery, another adaptation. So basically, this muscle hypertrophy is nothing but adaptation. Your body adapts to the stresses so that you can take more stress next time. And because of this supercompensation cycles, it your long-term performance keeps going upwards. The trend is upwards, but momentarily you might feel weak. So that's what happened with me as well. I was feeling weak, and then I took recovery week. And when I came back, my runs got much better. And now I have been able to touch 180 BPM for the first time in my life. I'm very happy about that. Okay, that's one insight from last week. The stuff that I wanted to do around the week has all been going pretty well. I think the week before that wasn't great because as we had to travel, but then I have been trying to come back a little easy. So these were all easy recovery kind of uh, cycling sessions, and then I took the run also pretty easy. That enabled me to run this one really hard. And then today also I did the bike session pretty hard. Uh, all the numbers on what I needed to do, 10 intervals of 2.5 minutes at zone 4 went really well, I would say. So if I look at the data, yep, 28% of the time in zone 5. So pretty good session. Um, Yeah, not as expected, 128 TSS because I did 20 minutes less because I didn't have time today as much as other days. So I had to cut down 20 minutes from that session. All right. Next up is the usual stuff as we venture into the protocols. And this time around, I have this new protocol. Oh, by the way, I did a little adjustment around the morning carb bowl. So you can either have banana or apple in that carb bowl. And here, instead of chirwa, you definitely can use oats. I haven't graduated to oats till now. Oats is a little still a little difficult for me, but there you go. Yeah, you can only optimize so much. Okay. Um, by the way, the food that you eat, you have to feel good about the food as well. So that is also important. If you don't feel good about the food, it's not sustainable in the long run. So recovery drink. So this one um, is suggested to have in the in the in the night, but because I do not prefer anything to be eaten after or drank after uh, sunset, so I kind of tweaked it according to my schedule. And because of that, this recovery drink I usually take in mid-morning after my breakfast. Because if you take before the breakfast, just after coming from the training session, what happens is you might get a little bit of a stomach upset, like a little bit of a diarrhea, because this is milk, right? So you don't want to put milk directly. You want to put some amount of fiber and proteins before you put the milk in. So this is kind of a recovery drink, not exactly, but I don't really prefer protein shakes and stuff like that. Protein, probably I'll put it in the morning carb bowl going forward. Uh, so I'll update that um, as well. But this one, I generally try to avoid the protein in that. So this is just a warm cow milk blended 300 ml around. Let me make that adjustment. 300 ml blended with soaked badams, almonds sometimes, because I also have mixed nuts powder So this is a powder of pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, which is very high in selenium, and almonds and walnuts. Selenium is a element that is good for recovery. And probably does other stuff as well. I'm not too sure about that. Then 2 to 3 grams of creatine monohydrate is great for muscle, and pea-sized this much shilajit. And this is not any shilajit. This is like the best of the best. Costs a lot. It's probably 6 to 7,000 rupees per kilo. But because we are putting just pea-sized, it does not cost a lot. Uh, People think shilajit is for stuff that we don't really talk about. Uh, it does not have a good name in the recovery industry. But what I feel like, Shilajit is very good at regulating your hormones rather than uh, increasing testosterone too much. If someone has low testosterone, it will obviously increase it. But I think it's something that has been proven to be regulating the testosterone hormone rather than increasing it to a very high level or something like that. The problem with today's world in general is the amount of testosterone in males in general has gone down because of sedentary lifestyle, the food choices we make, the availability of food, and all of that, and lack of exercise and all of that. So, in general, it has been, I think studies suggest that in general, the amount of testosterone in men have gone down a lot. So, whenever Shilajit is mentioned, it's like it will increase testosterone. Definitely, it will, because the baseline is lower than where it should be. But if it's too high, I guess it can also lower it. So it's a regulation supplement rather than something that just keeps on increasing out of control. So it's nothing like that. Okay. Uh, and because of that, because it regulates testosterone, it has benefits that people usually mention as well. So there you go. A little bit of a myth around it, but it does make a lot of uh, regulation work. Uh, Heavy lifting of the hormone regulation. Okay, so hormones are usually work best when they're regulated. They're not too high or not too low. If your TSH is too high, hypothyroidism. If it's too low, it's hypothyroidism, right? So it needs to be in a range, in the optimum range, just like anything else in life, moderation. So too much of anything is not great, right? Even Shilajit, if you eat too much, like if it's not pea-sized, you get a little greedy with it, then put too much, that's also not great for you. So there is a optimum level of Shilajit that you have to put. Okay. And the quality of the Shilajit is usually questionable. So get the best sources out there. It comes from Kashmir, so we got some from Kashmir, and then I had a brand that my coach suggested, which was pretty good. So uh, yeah, good quality ones always. Okay, so that's the caveat around that. Okay, the cost is of course, because of that, the cost is a little bit higher on this protocol. Uh, Milk will cost you, the nuts will cost you a lot. Shilajit will cost you. Creatine monohydrate will cost you. So yes, the cost is not super high, but it's medium. Okay, depends on your income level, of course. All right, time of the day, mid morning after breakfast. That's my ideal time. Depends on people to people. Some people take it before sleep. Uh, and not a lot of people mix all of those things together. Some people put turmeric, some people put something else. But this is what I came up with, which works for me the best. What are the primary targeted variable in this? Recovery, muscle repair, hormonal support. Those are the primary ones. And sleep quality definitely gets better. Strength adaptation, supercompensation, as I showed you here. This adaptation phase, this gets much better because of that. So I have seen difference. And obviously energy levels, because after a really hard run or a hard ride, you do need carbs, and this has a lot of carbs, good quality carbs and proteins to have your energy level at the right space. You might not be feeling hungry, but if you don't feed yourself carbs after a very hard workout, might get hungry later on in the day, and that is not great, because that's when you'll be craving not the best quality food. Okay, so no hunger pangs, that's a measurable marker here. Later in the day, training performance, recovery soreness, body composition trends, these will all get better because of this one protocol. So there you go. Next week, another new protocol, another new insight, and the retrospective of the entire week. I'm hoping to have a good one this time around, because I don't want to go into that, you know, partying mode again for at least the next 2 months. So 2 months of really hard work, and then I'll probably take another week off. Uh, Not the kind of week that I had last week, but yeah, recovery week. All right. See you next week. Keep shining. And this is Rajit from the RFL Cyclist. Bye bye.